Hey there, history buffs and curious minds. Ever feel like your history classes skimmed over the good stuff? You're right. There's a whole world of wild, unbelievable historical events they never taught us in school. We're talking about stories of bravery and tragedy, of innovation and injustice. These aren't just dusty old stories, they're relevant to who we are today. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey through the hidden corners of history. Get ready to explore the forgotten, the overlooked, and the downright unbelievable. We're going beyond the textbooks to uncover the hidden gems of the past. These are the stories that make history come alive, reminding us that the past was populated by real people with real struggles and triumphs. Why were these stories left out? Sometimes it's about who gets to tell the story. But whatever the reason, these untold tales deserve to be heard. Get ready for the unbelievable historical events they don't teach in school. Our first stop takes us back to the early 1900s, a time of great innovation and exploitation. Imagine young women, hundreds of them, working in factories, meticulously painting watch faces with radium. These watches promised a glow in the dark that would revolutionize timekeeping. The Radium girls took pride in their work, even painting their nails and teeth with the luminous paint. Little did they know, they were playing with radiation. At the time, radium was considered a miracle element used in everything from toothpaste to cosmetics. The Radium girls, trusting their employers, continued their work, unaware of the silent killer they were carrying on their brushes. As months turned into years, a sinister pattern emerged. The Radium girls started experiencing strange and debilitating symptoms. Their teeth rotted, their jaws crumbled, and their bones ached with unrelenting pain. Some developed tumors, their bodies ravaged by the radiation they had ingested. The companies denied any connection between the radium and the girls' deteriorating health. Doctors, pressured by the companies, often misdiagnosed the symptoms, leaving the Radium girls with little recourse. The truth was slow to surface, as the companies used their resources to silence dissent and maintain the illusion of safety. Despite their failing health, the Radium girls refused to be silenced. They began to speak out, sharing their stories, demanding justice. Leading the charge was Grace Fryer, who courageously sought legal representation. Their case became a landmark legal battle, shining a light on the dark side of industrial progress. The Radium girls exposed the human cost of unchecked greed and ignited a movement for safer working conditions. Our next stop takes us to 1940s Los Angeles. World War II is raging and America is a melting pot of cultures and anxieties. Enter the Zoot suit, a flamboyant style adopted by young Mexican Americans. The Zoot suit was a statement, a rebellion against conservative norms. But it was met with suspicion and disdain by some segments of white society. The stage was set for a confrontation, fueled by fear, misunderstanding, and prejudice. The Zoot suit became a symbol of everything some people feared and resented. For young Mexican Americans, it was a way to express their identity and frustrations. Newspapers fanned the flames, portraying Zoot suiters as delinquents and criminals. Rumors spread, accusing them of attacking servicemen and disrespecting the war effort. The Zoot suit, once a symbol of cultural pride, became demonized. The stage was set for a confrontation that would ignite simmering tensions into a full-blown riot. And then it happened. A minor altercation, a rumor, and the streets of Los Angeles erupted. The Zoot Suit riots, violent clashes between servicemen and Mexican-American youths, shook the city. Mobs of sailors and soldiers roamed the streets, targeting anyone wearing a Zoot suit. The police often turned a blind eye or even joined in the violence. The Zoot Suit riots exposed the deep-seated racism and prejudice lurking beneath wartime unity. Our journey now takes us to Rwanda, a land scarred by a tragedy that shocked the world. Before the 1994 genocide, a slow-burning injustice rooted in a profound misconception was unfolding. At the heart of this injustice lies the story of the Tutsi people, victims of colonialism and prejudice. European colonizers labeled the Tutsi as different, as more European in appearance. This misconception would have devastating consequences, shaping the destiny of a nation. The Belgian colonizers embraced this fabricated narrative of difference. They created a hierarchy, favoring the Tutsi over the Hutu. Identity cards were issued, solidifying the divide in Rwandan society. The Tutsi were given preferential treatment, while the Hutu were relegated to subservience. This manufactured division eroded the traditional social fabric, fueling resentment and suspicion. The legacy of this colonial manipulation haunted Rwanda long after the Belgians departed. The Hutu, having endured decades of marginalization, rose up against the Tutsi, culminating in the 1994 genocide. Nearly 1 million people were slaughtered, victims of a hatred fueled by decades of division. The story of the Tutsi people is a stark reminder of the enduring power of prejudice and the danger of fabricated narratives. It is a call to action, reminding us to remain vigilant against prejudice and strive for a world where every individual is treated with dignity and respect. Our journey now takes us to the battlefields of the Crimean War. Amidst the chaos, a remarkable woman emerged, Mary Seacole, a Jamaican-born nurse. Born in 1805, Mary inherited a legacy of healing from her mother. Driven by a desire to make a difference, she embarked on a journey that took her across continents. In England, she faced racism and prejudice but persevered, establishing herself as a respected nurse. But fate had other plans for Mary Seacole, plans that would test her resolve and etch her name in history. News of the Crimean War reached Mary Seacole. The stories of wounded soldiers and inadequate medical care ignited a fire within her. Despite her proven abilities, her applications to join the official nursing corps were rejected. Undeterred, Mary raised funds and gathered supplies, determined to make a difference. In 1855, she arrived in Crimea and established the British Hotel, a haven for wounded soldiers. Her hotel became a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of human compassion in the face of adversity. Erased from history. Mary Seacole's courage, her unwavering dedication to the sick and wounded, earned her the admiration and respect of the soldiers who came under her care. They called her Mother Seacole, a testament to the love and compassion she showered upon them. Her hotel became a sanctuary, a place where soldiers, regardless of rank or nationality, received the best possible care. She treated their wounds, nursed them back to health, and provided them with a sense of comfort and normalcy in a world turned upside down. But despite her heroic efforts, Mary Seacole's story, like so many others, was overshadowed, minimized, and ultimately erased from the dominant historical narrative. Her contributions, her sacrifices were largely forgotten, her name relegated to the footnotes of history. Why? Because she was a woman of color, a black woman in a society that refused to acknowledge her humanity, her courage, her invaluable contributions to the war effort. Her story, rediscovered and celebrated in recent decades, is a powerful reminder of the ways in which history is often written by the victors, by those in power, and how the experiences of marginalized communities are often silenced, overlooked, and forgotten. These stories, these glimpses into the forgotten corners of history might seem like isolated incidents, like anomalies in the grand narrative of the past. But they are not. They are threads, intricately woven into the vast and complex tapestry of human experience. They remind us that history is not just a collection of dates, battles, and treaties. It's a story about people, about their dreams, their struggles, their triumphs, and their failures. We often focus on the big picture, the sweeping narratives of empires rising and falling, of wars won and lost. But in doing so, we risk losing sight of the individual lives that make up these grand narratives. The lives of ordinary people caught in the crossfire of history, the unsung heroes, the forgotten victims, the everyday folks just trying to make sense of the world around them. History, at its core, is a human story. It's about the choices we make, the consequences we face, the connections we forge, and the legacies we leave behind. It's about the enduring power of the human spirit, the capacity for both great love and unimaginable cruelty. It's about the messy, complicated, and often contradictory nature of our shared existence. Beyond the battlefields. Think about World War II, a conflict that reshaped the world order and left an indelible mark on human consciousness. We learn about the major battles, the strategic decisions, the political machinations. But what about the stories of those who lived through it? The families torn apart, the refugees fleeing their homes, the resistance fighters risking their lives for freedom. What about the stories of the Japanese-American families forced into internment camps, stripped of their rights, their homes, their dignity? Or the stories of the Navajo code talkers, their language transformed into an unbreakable code, their contribution to the war effort long overlooked and undervalued? These stories, often absent from the history books, paint a more nuanced and complete picture of the past. They humanize the grand narratives, revealing the personal cost of conflict, the resilience of the human spirit, and the enduring legacy of both trauma and triumph. They challenge us to look beyond the headlines, to listen to the voices often silenced, and to recognize the humanity of all those who came before us. The unfinished story. History is not a static thing, a collection of dusty facts and figures relegated to museums and textbooks. It's a living, breathing entity, constantly being reshaped and reinterpreted through the lens of the present. Every generation asks new questions of the past, seeking answers to the challenges of their own time. Every discovery, every unearthed artifact, every story brought to light adds a new layer of understanding to the ever-evolving narrative of human experience. Why is it important to uncover these hidden histories? Why should we care about the stories of those who came before us? Because their stories are our stories. They are the foundation upon which our present is built, the roots that nourish our collective identity. By understanding the past, by grappling with its complexities and contradictions, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. We learn from the mistakes of those who came before us, we draw inspiration from their triumphs, and we develop a more nuanced and compassionate view of the world around us. History, when fully embraced, has the power to connect us, to teach us, and to guide us towards a more just and equitable future. The power of untold stories. From the glowing tragedies of the Radium girls to the cultural clashes of the Zoot riots, from the fabricated divisions in Rwanda to the forgotten heroism of Mary Seacole, we've journeyed through some of history's hidden corners. These stories, often absent from textbooks and mainstream narratives, remind us that the past is far more complex, far more human than we often realize. It's not just a collection of dates, names, and battles, but a tapestry woven from the lives, struggles, and triumphs of countless individuals. The Radium girls, with their courage and determination in the face of corporate greed and indifference, remind us of the power of speaking truth to power. The Zoot riots, a stark reminder of the enduring legacy of racism and prejudice, challenge us to confront the uncomfortable truths of our past. The story of the Tutsi people, victims of a fabricated narrative and a brutal genocide, underscores the danger of division and the urgency of fostering understanding and empathy. And Mary Seacole, the forgotten heroine of the Crimean War, reminds us that courage and compassion know no bounds, and that history is often written by those in power, leaving countless stories untold. These untold stories have the power to challenge our assumptions, broaden our perspectives, and deepen our understanding of the world. They remind us that history is not a static, settled thing, but an ongoing conversation, an ever-evolving narrative shaped by the questions we ask and the stories we choose to tell. Keep questioning, keep exploring. So, as we conclude our journey through these unbelievable historical events, let us carry with us a sense of curiosity, a willingness to question the narratives we've been taught, and a determination to uncover the hidden histories that have shaped our world. Remember those who have been silenced, whose stories have been overlooked or intentionally erased. Explore the archives, delve into the footnotes, and listen to the voices of those who have been marginalized and forgotten. Challenge the dominant narratives, seek out multiple perspectives, and embrace the complexities and contradictions inherent in the human story. History is not a passive subject to be memorized, but an active process of inquiry, discovery, and engagement. It's a journey that requires us to be curious, critical, and compassionate. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep uncovering the untold stories that make history come alive. For by understanding our past, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, and equip ourselves to build a more just and equitable future. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to Tech and Trek for more fascinating explorations. Stay curious and keep trekking through history and technology with us.